parents and the children could have fun together.
Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily.
Welcome to the My DVC Points podcast. Join the conversation as DVC members share their stories, personal preferences, and magical memories. Your reservation is confirmed, your fast passes are booked. Pull up on the yellow strap because our journey into the magic of membership is about to begin.
To infinity and beyond.
Now, here's your host and curator of magical stories, Chad Pennycuff.
9 o'clock.
Welcome home, neighbors, to episode 295, I think, of the My DVC Points podcast, Community Hall Live. We are combining the shows simply due to the fact that we can no longer stream to our Facebook groups, which are the most awesome DVC groups on all of Facebook. My DVC Points community, if you're looking for us there. But for whatever reasons, the folks that be over at Meta decided no more streaming to groups. And then until they get that situated, we're just streaming to our Facebook page and YouTube, so we hope you all can join us there. And we start off every show with a pre-show countdown, so you guys might want to either stalk us for a while because you know where we're going to be, or plan a trip and join us, because that's what this whole thing is partly about, is community building and everybody geeking about when are they going home next. So Gina, because I normally copy you and I copy your vacation plans, right? And our families kind of travel together. I'm just going to let you start us off with this, and then I can just go ahead and check it. Unless you want me to show them, and then
I think you should show because you're first. Because you're first this time.
Yes, this is true. This is very true. So let me come back in and bring on my little widget here to show us when we're going home next.
Let me pull these down.
Yep. And so in 2 days, I am heading to Hilton Head, and my wait list came through at about 33 days out.
Wow.
And middle daughter Bryn has got a dance competition in Savannah. So Laura said, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could just swing over to Hilton Head? How far is that? And the answer is like less than an hour from what I gather. I've never driven it.
45 minutes. I've driven it. 45 minutes. Great. It's a pretty easy drive.
Yeah. I'm told it's about 5 hours from here in Orlando. So they headed up there today. They will be doing the dance competition tomorrow. And then I think there's a little bit of it on Tuesday morning as well. But then Tuesday night at 4 o'clock, we're checking into Hilton Head Resort.
Great.
So if you're in the area, be sure to look us up. The Pennycuff family will be there alive and well. And it'll be my family's first time there. And
sweet. I'm bringing a blow up mattress.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. I think Hilton Head's super fun. It's a great beach town. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I've only been there once, and it was in January, and that's when I found limited availability on points and some super cheap flights from Detroit that took me to Atlanta and then straight onto the island. And so I've never driven there. And so Tuesday morning, I'll be driving up there, and
great.
Then after that, I'll come back to Orlando, fly back up to Detroit to pick up the rest of the family. And on, I believe, July 19th, we're flying as a family to LA, and we will be using some Chase Hyatt points to check into a Hyatt, probably 25, 30 minutes away from Universal Studios Hollywood. Last summer on our epic adventure, Lincoln just kept going, I got to bring mom, I got to bring mom, I got to bring mom. So this is our bringing mom trip so that she can go check out Super Nintendo World and Universal Studios Hollywood. We'll be there for a day. We'll have a day in LA. And then a couple of days later, we'll be getting up and flying over to Alani. And we're all using that Southwest Companion Pass from Lynn and Families Fly Free. If you guys want more info on that, we'll do a whole trip report on that at the end, but it's an epic value that we're getting because all of these were buy one, get one free, and we used points for all of these flights. So then we're going to Alani for 22 days. And which I've been sending Gina all the, hey,
maybe
this is on sale for like $283 if you want to crash the Pennycuff family vacation. I know you're a teacher and you got the summer off. And so we'll see about that one.
I'm thinking.
Yep. And so we've got 5 days at Alani. We're thinking of doing a midweek, intraday island hop trip over to the Big Island and checking out Volcano National Park. I guess Brandon did a report on it this year in school. they thought it would be cool to head over there, and Southwest flies there, so we can get buy one, get one free tickets over to there as well. So that Southwest deal is just really paying off for us. I'm just telling you, it was a little bit of work coming in. Then on the way back to LA on that round trip from Hawaii, we've got 3 days or 3 nights at the Disneyland Hotel. We'll be spending 2 days there. We've got a meetup there.
I'll be there
as well. And then, and Gina, I think you're popping over for that one. Definitely.
I'll definitely be there. And then I do have a Ren Disney event in the middle there. It's in 68 days. I've Ren Disney. I actually just walk really fast. I just like the walking part, and I like to look at all the characters and how they do up the parks. So I'll be there in 68 days, and we're not staying on points. We are staying at Pixar place.
Okay.
So that'll be fun.
Okay. And then Nick and Steve will be hosting the My DVC Points Villas at Disneyland Hotel Grand Villa meetup in 104 days. I think you'll be there. I'll be there. Pete's coming in for that. And we're going to have a whole crew going to that one as well. So if you're in the Disneyland area, then be sure to pop in on our meetup there. We will have an open invite with snacks and food in the Grand Villa. Yes. And then I guess 2 weeks after that, we're all coming back here to celebrate Gina's birthday at a Copper Creek cabin for 120 days. At least I'll be staying at my house for that one. I'll just like my own bed.
Yes.
What can I say?
And then in between there, I have my candlelight here in California, and then I'm hopping on to Aulani for the Christmas holiday, and I'll be there for, I think, 6 nights. Super excited. I'll be there 26th through the 1st. So I get to see New Year's Eve at Aulani. I'm super excited.
Yeah, that teach them to give you an annual pass blackout date.
That's right. That's right. That's right, Disneyland.
Yep. And then I guess in 280 days, we have a My DVC Points cruise over to from San Diego down to Baja and Catalina Island. And I think the Robert Campbell family is going to be joining us on that.
And Cindy and Mike.
Cindy and Mike and Frederica. So we are going to have a great time on that trip. And I didn't even put in all my little day trips to Walt Disney World because that's just
those
cheap.
don't count. Those don't count. I didn't put any Disneyland dates. I just put if I'm staying at a hotel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I won't use points to stay there. So it's too short a drive. Like 16 minutes from Epcot parking lot to the garage is pretty epic. And so, okay, that's what I have on the book so far. We are working on planning our Disneyland Paris trip, and you can get in contact with Gina if you want more on that. That'll be the late June of 2025. And we're trying to at least do 3 days together at Disneyland Paris and then let people do their own European adventures pre and post after that. And so, give Gina a call if you'd like that. And that's about it for me. Gina, anything else on the books?
That's all I've got. I do have one more date here. I always book a Disneyland hotel for May 25th. So I'll be here May 25th.
Oh, awesome. And then Andy, what's on the books for you? I know it's something epic.
I'm about to tell you this. I'm just tired watching you guys or hearing you guys talk about your trips. I think I'm just going to stay here for the rest of my life. We are down to double digits. Yay. 99 days until we take a trip to Egypt. It's been on the books for 3 years. Actually rescheduled 3 times.
Wow.
But we're finally committed to go.
This is an ABD, right?
This is an ABD trip.
Yeah, so that's
be number
definitely going to
9
be
for
epic.
us.
See, like you take all of our awesomeness and like we have to spread this out among like 7 or 8 trips. You just cram it all into one, Andy. So
and you take the amazing mega trips that are amazing. Yeah, just amazing.
I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's to celebrate our 20th anniversary 3 years late.
Nice.
Got it. I'm going to have to look at the date when we've published our first podcast episode together, Andy, and see if I can't weasel some kind of anniversary celebration ABD trip out of you on that one.
Yeah. Oh, did you see the new one that they just announced? It's kind of like an ABD sort of ESPN trip where it's the baseball stadiums on the East Coast.
That'd be fun. That'd be very fun.
It's like $8,000 a person to go to Philadelphia, Baltimore, and New York City. And then you get to go up to the ESPN studios and the Hall of Fame. It's kind of a neat trip. Nice father-son kind of bonding thing. We did that for Ryan's graduation gift for high school.
Got it. Got it. Well, let's check in with the audience here. I mean, we're about 10 minutes into just ours. We normally like to be done by now, but so Caleb's saying 257 days until his Copper Creek, and he may switch at the 7-month mark. But I'm cheating on the mouse in 18 days with a Carnival cruise.
Nice. That'll be fun.
So that'll be really nice. And Adam the Who says 48 days until our August trip for our first day at Beach Club.
Yay.
And that will
Ooh,
be
that'd be fun.
mega
Congrats
awesome.
on
Gotta,
your first
gotta have the
day.
kitchen sink when you're there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely have to pop over to Beaches and Cream for that kitchen
Beaches and
sink.
Cream.
And August is a wonderful time to be at Beach Club because it is nice and hot and toasty, and you will love that pool and absolutely positively love it. So Hudsbrick says 26 days till Boardwalk at Walt Disney
Yay.
World. And then Ron says, happy Sunday, guys. Jackie and I are headed down there for our oldest granddaughter, Vivian, in 65 days.
Yay.
4 nights at Boulder Ridge, 2 nights in a Little Mermaid room at Art of Animation because Ariel is her
Oh,
favorite.
that'll be so
that's
cute.
cool.
That
I
is
love, you know,
awesome, Ron.
this last week I've had so many members and guests contact me and asking about legacy trips. And Ron, I love reading something like this because you can buy your kids and your grandkids and great grandkids so many gifts and toys and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's all about the memories you create with those kids.
Yep.
Got it. Yeah,
Love
that's
it.
awesome. And then Hudsbrick says October 27th, 4 days at Grand Cal. We're all jealous of that one.
Ooh,
We'll be
that'll
here.
be fun.
We'll-
That'll be right to coincide with Halloween.
Yeah, with Oogie Boogie. Awesome.
Most expensive candy you're ever going to buy.
Mhm.
It truly
And-
is.
And other treats.
Other treats.
Hell,
Gina,
healthy.
we didn't put our Oogie Boogie in there. We've got at the
Oh yeah,
Mighty
Oogie
VC Points meetup,
Boogies.
we have Oogie Boogie tickets.
Yeah, that's in 105 days.
Got it.
Oh my gosh.
Caleb says, I want to celebrate Gina's birthday, and
Come on down.
I'm guaranteed there will be a live stream for those who cannot come on down to join in on the fun
Come on
from
down.
the Copper Creek Villas there. We will definitely be pulling something off like that.
Did you register anywhere for gifts?
No. It is bring yourself. Bring yourself.
Bring yourself.
It's kind of far. It's a far trip for me.
It's a present. That's not too far. Anyway, a
Closer in Egypt, Andy. So,
little bit closer.
yep. And then Hudsberg says, I didn't know about the cruise. That would be cool. And this is why we
So-
talk about this all the time on our live stream shows.
Hey, Hudbrooks, how are you?
Yep. And says hi to
Maybe
Andy.
Chad, could you put something up there like a general posting of the dates of the cruise
Mhm.
and just kind of a little bit of like an infomercial?
I'll do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Info-
Put our dates up there. It's on the Magic.
No, it's on
And
the Wonder.
It's on the Wonder. It's on the Wonder.
Chad's gonna go on the Magic.
We just got off the Magic, so a little confused
Yes.
there.
Same. It's the same ship.
Mark says 153 days till Wilderness Lodge, and Mark is a long time listener, like from when we
Yes.
first started, and he used to kill us with 300 plus odd countdown days. Like we're like, how do you live to tell about that? And so yeah, we're glad to see you're in the less than 6 months mark here, Mark. And I'll definitely be popping over there to meet with you while you're here. And then Caleb says the family Disney cruise, March 25 and June 26.
Nice.
Yeah. And we're going to try to see if we can make that June 2026
Yes.
one happen, Caleb, as
Yes.
a group.
Me too. Yeah.
So we definitely
Oh.
do, because Lincoln got back from our cruise, and we're going to talk about that next week. But basically, the rest of the family is like chomping at the bits for me to schedule the family cruise. They're like,
Nice.
he got to do what? And yeah,
He's saying switch the years on those. So basically, he's doing March 26 and June 25. Okay, we'll figure it out, Caleb. March 26 doesn't work for me.
yeah, we can't, because we've got everybody's teachers. Caleb's teacher, June's teacher. That's why that late June one works out well, because Laura's a teacher, and
Yeah.
And then so Gina posts that April 7th through the 11th on the Wonder from San Diego. And you guys are welcome to use Caleb. He's a travel agent in our group. He will be glad to help you out over at Pixie Path Travels.
Unless
can
you're from
use-
California.
Unless you're from California. Sandy can help you. Sandy's in our group. You can go to Be Our Guest Vacations, which is
You can
owned by
also
our
consider
sponsors.
Can also
Yeah.
consider doing a swap program
Mhm.
with the
Yeah,
DVC
you can.
rental store.
Yep.
DVC Rental Store would be glad to swap some of your points for that cruise as well. And I should get with them and start doing like weekly updates on it for our live shows to say how many points it would take for a certain room and to contact them. And so shout out here. Andy helped me get my first contract at the boardwalk. And in 6 months, I went to add on Addonitis.
Mhm.
That is completely awesome there.
Just
And then
remember,
Rob,
Addonitis is a game the whole family can play.
oh yeah, it affects us all. Like
It's
I'm
like
afraid
a
of
virus.
DCL Addonitis. Like
Uh-huh.
It's better than
that.
better than COVID because it's a virus shot you can get every 6 months.
Yeah. Rob says 140 days till a week at the Grand Floridian.
Nice.
And I guess Inshore Fisher says 61
How are
That's Andy's
days.
friend.
you?
That's another one of Andy's friends.
Yes, I know.
Also getting close to closing on a BLT.
It's a new
resale
member
with
too.
Andy.
Nice. Awesome.
And Michael says we're waiting on our first resale for Polly, waiting to see if we woke the rover monster. It's still sleepy.
Well, we'll
So yeah, let's hope and fingers crossed that you evade the rover monster on that one. So, okay, well, we'll jump into our show tonight. And if you guys have a question for Andy, you can ask us anything is the title of the show tonight. And so we found that if we do these once a month, it really helps people come back in and ask their DVC questions. And just as a starter here for a little kindling, Gina, we both got to ride Tiana's Bayou adventure. And I'll let you start. What was your thoughts?
My first impressions were it's very cute. Luckily, I live in California, so I would not wait more than 20 minutes for this thing. I would not buy a Genie Plus for this ride. I would just go stand in my single rider line and go on it in about 10, 15 minutes. That's my impression. It's very cute. It's not a bad storyline. It goes well. They got rid of Splash Mountain, and this is a good replacement.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I thought the everything was working when I rode the ride here in Walt Disney World, which from what I understand, these electronic animatronics in a high humidity water ride in Walt Disney World, Florida, not doing so well. Okay.
Oh, because the sensor kept going off. That's why it would break all the time because of the humidity.
Yeah. And yeah, so this ride is set up to, instead of just being continual motions, they have lines and specific movements when you ride by. So they wait for a trigger for it to see you come by, and doesn't necessarily work out so well.
Ooh. That's
So
one
there's a
those
lot
things
of
you can't
issues
plan
there.
for on the design engineering.
Yeah. On top of all of let's not everybody forget the vast majority of issues that this ride always had, because it's a water ride and a roller coaster all at the same time, which is just like a nightmare of maintenance. So this thing was like down a lot as it is.
Yeah.
And now I think they've kind of upped the ante a little bit of it. So I wore my Splash Mountain shirt because I was in mourning, but it was really cool because all the Imagineers were there on opening day, and like the lady who voiced Tiana was there, and the lady's daughter who inspired it was there. All the Disney media was there, and we got an early boarding group and rope dropped it and walked straight onto the ride.
Cool.
Literally, it was,
That's
but we
cool.
did, take our time walking through the queue a little bit. So, which was
Yeah.
really well done. Really,
queue is
really, really
Really
well
well done. I agree. The queue is very well done. But again, California, I will not be waiting. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you
I
won't see me in that
still
line.
not buying the whole Salt Mountain, Salt Dome thing. Yeah. But yeah, I like Splash. What can I say? And
Did they have
Tippity
merchandise
Doo
for you to
Dah was
buy?
No.
the
Oh, for
best.
us, no.
Yeah.
Did they have merch for you to buy at the end?
Not at the store. They did not have the stores open, but they had a virtual queue and a line going up at the Emporium, and for opening day or opening season is what they called it for Tiana stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we That way you can
I'm
continue
mourning
to sell.
Splash so much I can't even look at buying Tiana gear at this point in time.
I don't
So,
even know when we're going to open, so who knows? Because again, Florida's working out all the kinks for us, so it'll be a better opening when it
Yeah.
comes here.
Yep. Hopefully it'll go better there as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, Gina, because if Splash Mountain is closed, Haunted Mansion's also closed.
And
So you
so is Winnie the
basically have
Pooh.
that whole area sort of closed.
Yeah, the whole thing's closed. Winnie the Pooh's also closed. So the only thing open is Hungry Bear. So you just walk to Hungry Bear and keep going to Galaxy's Edge.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. But can I tell you guys something about Galaxy's Edge that I experienced and it was amazing? I got to play one of the Star Wars games with Ahsoka. She came to the table and it was just me and her and all the cast members playing. Disneyland for the win.
That's a Disneyland exclusive.
That's like a Guinness Book
Were
of
you
World
in
Records thing.
Oga's Cantina or
No, I was just outside and one of the cast members said, "Do you want to learn how to play sabacc?" And I said, "Sure." And I started playing. All the other people left. Ahsoka came to the table and said, "I'll play."
That's neat.
So
Nice. So Caleb comments here, Splash Mountain was my favorite ride. But it was the ride mechanisms and multiple drops that I really loved. With it still intact, I thought it was a solid ride. And it is. The ride is still solid, right? The ride is still solid. I miss Zippity Doo Dah because it was the ultimate Optimus song, like of all times, in my opinion. And there's no better song that could turn a bad day into a good day. It's, the song is what it is. And I understand why they had problems with it. And I'm like, but that's why it's the ultimate Optimus song. So yeah, that's a little tough. I'm mourning. I'm dealing with it. I'm coping. I'll catch up. I really will. But then on to something DVC related. So tomorrow I need to find time to pop over to the cabins at Fort Wilderness.
yes, they
And
open.
Shannon Ford on our team has opening day reservations. So I'm going to
Great.
go beg, borrow, and plead to
Take a look.
yeah, I need to send her a note tonight because I have not. But in all fairness, I have had Lincoln with me for the last 2 weeks, and we've been on a cruise in Vero, and y'all are going to hear about that next week with Gina and I and Caleb. And so, it's just been crazy. And then the whole family came down and they just left out today. So I have like a day and a half to catch up on podcast stuff and go from there.
Yeah. What's Welcome Home Weeks? What is that? When is it? I have no clue. I know it's here and there. Do you know about these Welcome Home Week things?
It sounded to me like I didn't read up on it too much due to the busy schedule, but it sounds like little special events they're doing.
Okay.
Andy, do you have an understanding?
Same thing. It's kind of supplemental. It's not the extent of a Moonlight Magic, but it's more or less an opportunity or an invitation to get members in to see agents or guides or counselors, whatever you want to call them now, and flip them on the cabins at Fort Wilderness or Riviera or the Disneyland Tower.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an enticement to get you over. Maybe they'll give you a pin or something.
Yeah,
there'll be something. There'll be some sort of trinkets.
Got it. Maybe a magic band slider and
it could be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, huge shout out to Brian Flock from DCL Duo. Let me see if I can. If you look right up here in the corner. Nope. There. That is the DVC member cruise or DVC cruise. And I don't think it's an official member cruise. That's the swag from that cruise.
Oh, nice. That was cool.
Brian and Sam got 3 of them and gave me an extra one. Nice. So I was kind of appreciative of that. And I need to get that on display a little bit better. But I let Lincoln put up all my displays while he was here.
Oh, fun.
And he got some new popcorn buckets and was happy to rearrange everything. So.
Oh, and then Caleb just told me what to do. I need to listen to the newscast because they did a good rundown of what Welcome Home Weeks is. Okay, thanks, Caleb.
Yeah, we need to catch up. We need to definitely catch up as well. And so Caleb asks, what are your predictions for the Poly Tower, price, sale date, etc.? I'm thinking sale date and all of that will happen as soon as this Fort Wilderness Cabins rush gets over. I think they want to take the media hype of this opening and all of the fanfare from this and run this out for a while. And when that starts to die down, they'll come back in and put the Poly Tower on for sale. So I see us by September, it's for sale. And I'm thinking 245, 255 list per point, and with some serious incentives to kind of bring that down and spark a sale. Or I'll put it to you this way. Some good incentives, but not great incentives due to all the pent up demand. I think a year from now, we'll start to see some better incentives like we're seeing right now with Disneyland Hotel and other things along those lines.
And then Andy, what is Poly resale going for right now?
Resale, you can see them. They're starting to slide a little bit, but somewhere between 165 and 180 a point. That's pretty average. I mean, 4 weeks ago it was $200 a point.
Okay.
But no, and I think I agree with Chad's comments. I think you're going to see 245, 255 a point. I don't think the incentives are going to be that great. I think you're going to take it down to maybe 225 or 230, but you're going to have to buy a ton of points. I think it's going to be a short incentive period for members to buy, maybe 5 weeks like they typically do. I think they're going to run this cash reservation as long as they can. And I think a September timeframe is probably realistic. End of the fiscal year for DVC, for Disney in total, and the start in October is the start of the new fiscal year.
Yeah, so it very well could be. They could put them on sale and have them closing in on starting it out next fiscal year.
Yeah, that's correct. The interesting part, we talk a little bit about the cabins at Fort Wilderness. We haven't seen any resales yet, which is interesting. But maybe because they've only sold 17 contracts. But
yeah, they're not moving.
Sales are pretty slow.
They're not moving, and so HUD Brick says, I want to stay, but I wouldn't buy at the cabins. And
I think you've got a lot of people who are doing that.
I want to stay there once to check it off the list so that I can say that I've done it. But I honestly, and my family has no desire to stay there whatsoever. And you just lost us with the lack of a washer dryer. But that's okay. They're going to give you some clothespins so you can hang out your clothes. Wash them in the sink and the kitchen sink and then hang out just like the old days.
The one place they'll let you.
One thing I am hearing from people is that the sleeping arrangements are a little bit kind of weird because you've got a queen or a king bed, and then you've got two sort of beds right there with the kids staring at mom and dad.
So Andy, I think the washing machine in there is the little washboards from Hoop-Dee-Doo. You got to go snag one of them.
Hoop-Dee-Doo review. I mean,
and go grab one of them washboards and wash it yourself old school.
If you bring it with you for the Hoop-Dee-Doo review, you get a little bit of a discount. But you got to take it back to your mobile home. I'm sorry, your cabin.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, when I go over there, I'm going to snag one of those washboards, take it over there and take a photo and make a meme of it. We finally found the washing machines in
these cabins.
I saw something there. There was a guy out on eBay somewhere that you can buy the old cabins that they're selling them for like 10 grand.
Yeah. They were like 50 or 60 at first. I guess nobody was buying them. Maybe they dropped down to 10, but I'm like, why would you buy a used trailer for 60 grand? Like, that's just not even.
Buy a new Airstream for something like that.
Exactly. It's so much nicer.
And keep it in my driveway.
Yeah. So anyways, I am excited to stay at the new Poly Tower. I am hoping and waiting because I have a February use year. So I have until September 30th to bank my points. So I'm hoping they go on sale before then. And the booking window opens up before then. Otherwise, I'm not going to make the opening date, which if it's, what is it, December 4th or 15th, something like that. Seems like they're going to have to at least by October, put it up for booking. So people have 2 months to book.
Yeah, I think so. They'll give you a couple months.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's before then so that I can borrow points in to make my night stay because I don't think 40 points is going to go very far. And I definitely want to try that out on opening night. And as a Poly owner, I'm going to jump in on that one. I missed out on the booking for July 1st. It just didn't happen for the cabins and waitlist never came through. So I get it. I completely get it. But
Well,
looking
then
forward to Poly Cabins or Poly Tower. We probably start to need to do a show on Poly Tower because we really haven't covered that all that much. I know Newscast has kind of covered it some, but I usually bring Pete over for an Everything We Know show.
Mhm.
And now we know a lot more, and it's probably time to refresh that. So Gina, let's get that on the agenda and schedule
Sounds good. Yes.
as well. So again, this is Ask Us Anything. So any kind of questions you guys have about DVC, we've got Andy Berry with us, and he is a treasure trove of DVC knowledge, and has probably sold more points than about anybody else out there. I wouldn't at least on the resale side, maybe.
I think on
So-
both. I think in land too.
Well, I think to be fair, on the resale side, I would give that crown to Princess Jody
Oh, okay.
because she was a resale agent for a little bit longer than I have been. So she probably takes the crown on that one.
Yeah, that would be an interesting statistic to look at, Andy. And I know guides like my guide Randy Kruger, who was opening day and was also a pretty top selling guide for 30 years. Like
Yeah,
he's had to close his fair share of direct points. You know what I'm saying? And 30 years history there as well.
That's great.
And then just Andy Berry fan club showing up in full
Woohoo!
force. They normally do, and that's what I call all of us Andy fans out there is the Andy Berry fan club. And then so other things that we've got coming down the pipe, Gina, Walt Disney World.
What's going on at Walt Disney World? You got a lot of $1 billion to spend or something.
Yeah, we've
So-
got several billion to spend, and I can tell you this: if you haven't made it to the drone show, it's worth seeing in person.
It was pretty cool.
I would definitely go over there and check out the drone show. So
How-
where did you see it at, Gina?
So I'm going to explain this. So people know we had gotten there right when it started, and you are not allowed to watch it anywhere. So we ended up having to walk all the way down past the orange parking lot, past everything, and there was no viewing. So we ended up going back, and we sat in front of Haleo and watched from there.
So
Yeah.
like on the street in front of Haleo.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
you have
bad.
to get there early and go down by
Yeah.
House of Blues to line up to get the riverfront
Right.
or the lakefront there. And
So we did not know that, and we ended up seeing it from Haleo. It was still pretty. I still got some good views. However, that needs to be revamped. It needs to be explained. There was no signage. There was no direction. And when the cast members were telling us to leave, we couldn't get out either. So it was just messed up. We were very frustrated with just being stuck.
yeah, it's very micromanaged. I'm
Yeah.
right there by the food trucks where we bought popcorn one night.
That's smart.
And then they let us stand in that area. And I heard them over say, turning people away who hadn't bought anything.
Yeah. So
So if
that's
you can
very
buy
good
some
tip.
popcorn, crowd in there early, that's a pretty decent spot to watch it, but it's not as good as the riverfront. And then likewise, you can go to the deck behind Starbucks, and that's a halfway decent. You have a little
That's
bit of tree
better.
blockage in your area, but you've got to get there early and camp out, and they will not let you come down the steps off the porch onto the deck.
They
down
will
there.
not let you. I know that too. They were not
Yeah.
letting people move.
Yeah,
that-
it's pretty locked down and micromanaged at
Yes.
an all-time Disney high.
And then you cannot get out. So if you want to leave early, you can't. So just plan on staying for the entire show, and that is your prime thing you're doing.
Yeah, but the good news is the show's only
It's
like
nice.
11, 13 minutes, something along those
And
lines.
it's pretty. And it's pretty.
And it's pretty. You want to hear the music. If you just want to see it, great viewing, I'm told, is over at Saratoga Springs. And you
Okay.
can view from there, but you won't hear the music because they don't pipe it in because of everybody
Yet.
in their timeshare.
Yet.
So
Yet.
yet. And what's funny is Lincoln and I went and we closed Universal one night when he was here, and they put some drone shows into their summer
Oh.
cinematic sensational
Yeah.
like nighttime event that only runs during summer, and he was like mind blown at that, and I was like, oh, if you think that was good, Disney's going to tell them to hold their their beer. And
Yep.
so we left there and we went straight to Disney Springs because that show was at 9. And then by the time we got out of Universal and Ballet and all of that over there, we made it over to Disney Springs, parked, we bought the popcorn, stood in the little area, and he had a great view for that show. And he was just like mind
Yeah.
blown
It's amazing. It really
because of
is.
the 3D-ness of it
Yes,
and
it's so
the
cool.
rotating Death Star, all of that you have to see in person. It's
Yes.
cool on the videos. It's just mind blown in person.
Yeah, it's beautiful in person.
And I
The
did
other
send
thing
Andy,
oh,
I
go
did
ahead.
send Andy a text to see if he's coming back with us tonight, but I haven't heard much. So we'll
Uh-oh.
see.
Hopefully his
And
system is up and going, and I can't run down there and fix it now, so
yeah, Gina was his tech support for years and years and years because she lived, what, 15, 20 minutes away at
Yeah.
most?
Yep, 8 miles.
Yeah.
So,
And so when
not
we would do these
anymore.
shows, we'd send Gina over there first. And it's like, now that he moved, it's
I
like, well,
can't help. I can't help.
we can't
Oh,
help. We got to.
yeah. Talking about Epcot and Communicore Hall, what about that? Have you been there? Have you seen Communicore Hall yet? Have you walked through?
Yeah, we did. And
Okay.
wah, right?
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
like we tore everything down and we essentially rebuilt it with a little stage show.
Ugh.
And it's just like disappointing. We had 5 years of moving dirt in Epcot. Like
Yeah, it's a
and we
letdown.
lost the fountain in the deal. You know what I'm saying? The fountain
Right.
was great. Don't get me wrong. I love the additional seating. I think that's great.
I
But you
agree.
know what? Most of the year it's too flippin' hot in Epcot to be out there hanging out in the seating.
Yeah,
Um,
too
I-
hot
And the
and not
festival favorites booth
what they have.
didn't. It was like it was matching the either South American flavor flair of the show. And so,
Oh,
but it wasn't really festival favorites. It was just another booth, like a permanent
darn. Darn, I was hoping they would have the filet mignon because that's a festival favorite,
booth. Hmm.
or those tacos because that's a festival favorite, but no,
Hmm.
they didn't do that. Okay.
And the Kahlua pork sliders are just my favorite over there as
And
well from the little
they didn't
Hawaii booth.
yeah, didn't have that either. Didn't have any that's what
No,
I was
that was
hoping they would have festival favorites.
yeah, the best of, right?
Yeah.
And you know, nope,
The
didn't
best
happen
of.
for us. And we did kind of enjoy the show. And we do have a friend who was with us this time from the of like Latino descent, and she really enjoyed the music and thought it was great. So um, that was really cool. I mean, I thought it was cool, but I don't know what I'm listening to. I wouldn't know good from bad there. You know what I'm saying? But she did enjoy it, and it looks like Andy got his issues worked out. So welcome back, Andy. And maybe
Can't hear you.
he didn't get the mic worked out. So nope, because we can't hear you, Andy.
But
And
when you do get some, we have a question for you, so we can't hear you though.
yeah. So, but we do have a question for you. And Hudbricks wants to know what's the best bang for your buck property wise for resale. And
But we
well,
still
he
can't hear you.
starts, yeah, he's going through the settings. He'll go, go to settings and get it set to his microphone there. And I will come back in and go, that's a complex question. And I just released an episode on what type of buyer are you, where we talk about things that people look at. And some people are going to look at this and go, total cost of ownership. So they're going to look at this and go, I want to know what's the least amount of expense per point over the life of the contract. And if you're interested in that, that's really good. Every 6 months, DVC Resale Market puts out a most economical resort to own. And right now, Copper Creek is way up there due to the low dues, years left on the life. And that one's been up there as well. Beach Club is down at the bottom. Okay. All of those 2042s are down at the bottom because there's just not enough years left. So if that's what you're looking at, you're going to look at that one. Okay. Some people think best bang for their buck means lowest upfront cost. And if you do that, then you're going to be looking at Hilton Head or Vero so that you have to shell out less money now to come back in and buy this. Some people look at it and go, hey, I got a windfall of cash, but I'm worried about the annual dues. So I don't care what it costs me now. I care what it costs me over time. And if you're that type of person, you're going to be looking at Bay Lake Tower. You're going to be looking at Grand Floridian. And for those really, really, really cheap dues from those high point resorts per night, you're going to want to buy a resort that's got high point per night costs, because all of those housekeeping costs and maintenance costs and utility costs are spread out across more points. So your dues will be lower over time just due to the high point cost per night. And then they're usually in towers, which are more economical to do than like heating and cooling individual cabins. I think cabins at Fort Wilderness, their dues are going to be astronomical over time, which is one reason why I'm not touching that place with a 10-foot pole in terms of ownership. But I'll gladly take my cheap Poly points and 7-month in there, or my Copper Creek points for my low total cost of ownership and sneak in there at 7 months. So you still can't hear you, Andy. It's going to have to go into settings down below and
Click on your mic.
click on audio, and then we're at mic where it says the drop down. I think you're at a AT40 or ART, something like that.
Yeah, ATR, I think.
Yeah, ATR. And then we'll hear him. He'll figure it out sooner or later. And Hudbrooks is saying they should put a drone show at Star Wars Land.
Definitely. That would be so cool.
I completely agree.
There
And
we
we
go.
had, yeah, go ahead. We got you, Andy.
Oh, okay, there we go.
So, Andy, what's your thoughts here? Did I do a good job answering this question for you?
And yeah, you did a very good job. I mean, I always like to think that, we've been doing a lot of Alani sales because it's a great networking point. A lot of people won't go there, but you got a nice long lease. Dues aren't that expensive, but the cost per point is going to be lower than a lot of the other resorts.
Yeah, and when you do want to go there, you can get in that fight for those standard view rooms at 11 months.
Yep.
And then you're really coming out like a bandit because you're not spending as many points. And Gina is an Alani owner for that exact reason.
And I want to go over Christmas.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think Alani Resort's a great place to own. That or Saratoga Springs. I mean, you're gonna always have easy availability at Saratoga Springs. So a lot of people say, well, I don't need to own there. Yeah, but the cost of ownership is pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cost of ownership is low. And in the event you need to be at Walt Disney World for like a Run Disney weekend or some crazy packed out where the entire joint's going to sell out in 11 months, you got a dog in the fight at Walt Disney World.
Yep.
And you got a really good shot at getting that Saratoga room. And yeah, so that's another great reason to own there as well.
And then, the other one is Saratoga Springs, you have access to the Treehouse Villas. And with only 66 of those villas, they're not that easy to get a hold of at the 7-month window.
Yeah, they can be difficult at times. And I think the popularity's died down a little bit from when they were new. But because it's a special person that wants that.
And it's a neat place to hold like a Sweet 16 birthday party, or have a high school graduation party where you let a guy or a little young man or a young woman bring over their 10 or 8 or 10 friends.
Locals do that all the time there. They'll book it for a birthday party or something like that.
Yeah,
and then it's
kind
of
a swimming pool there, so kind of private.
Yeah, It's a unique situation because at the tree houses, you've got parking for one vehicle, but it sleeps 9 people, and there's not too many 9 people vehicles out there.
I usually put the kids in the trunk.
So, strap them onto the hood.
Roll them in.
5 adults in the car and then 3 kids in the trunk.
There you go.
There we go.
Isn't that how you used to sneak into drive-in movies?
Same way. Put them in the trunk. We're old.
Can't say that I've ever done that, Andy, but
we're old, so we know what those are. Okay.
Yeah. So now the drive-in movies that my family goes to back in Michigan, they just charge by the carload. They're like, hey, we just charging you by the carload.
You still have drive-ins.
As many people in. Yeah. But David wants to know any thoughts on the BLT refurb. Is this just a soft goods refresh? And my understanding of this is going to be a hard goods refurb, because they have not had one there yet. They've had a soft one, but they've never, other than the studio revamping those due to some really awkward layout and plans when it first opened. They did a hard refurb on it pretty quick. It just because of people's complaints.
They need to refurb those studios again, though. They're still terrible.
Yeah. I'm not that galley style kitchen doesn't
It's
really
terrible.
serve anybody well.
No.
And it just makes a really small room smaller. So maybe they will redesign those in this. That would be a good thing.
That'd be
But
amazing.
I think getting rid of those, 14-inch LCD TVs from, the year 2000
Yep.
would be a beautiful thing as well
That
there.
too.
But it is my favorite one bedroom that's there because of the pie-shaped nature of the room and the floor to ceiling windows and Magic Kingdom view, and
I love the
absolutely
two
love it
bedrooms
there.
too. I love the two
Yeah,
bedrooms too.
I thought it was
and
your
the extra
favorite because that's my
bathroom.
home
Mhm.
resort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love me some Bay Lake Tower. And
Just not those
speaking of
studios.
which, this is a little insider tip here especially for those who are local or if you're staying off property. I found out last week when I was on Caleb's reservation. I was like, oh, I'm on Caleb's reservation at Boardwalk, so I can go up to Top of the World tonight. And I went up there and they didn't ask for a Magic Band. They just asked for the DVC Y
Ooh.
card. And I asked them and they're like, yeah, we're not checking for that anymore. We're exclusive to DVC Y members. And I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
new.
oh, so that means I can come up here then. And they were like, yeah, for the time being. And then the server told me that they're waiting on getting an iPad in so that they can check to scan and see if you're on property or not. But for the time being, we can sneak up there as well. So that's a really good thing, in my opinion. 'Cause I go up there after fireworks when it's dead, and just to take friends or family in town or friends in town or something like that up there. And, they got nothing to do up there. And you've got tipped workers up there that aren't selling anything. So I go up there and order a cake and maybe a drink and have a great time.
Nice.
So yeah, really, really good. Hudbricks is backing you up here for the second WW stay for the tree houses, and he loves them. My family's had a great time there. They were early in our DVC rotation. We snuck down for a last minute weekend in January one year, borrowed some points in from the February use year, stayed a weekend at the tree houses with the in-laws, and had a phenomenal time. Just an
awesome.
absolutely phenomenal time. Yeah, great DVC memories with that one as well. So, okay, we got time for one more final question if somebody wants to ask one. Otherwise, Gina, what are your thoughts on what's coming up at Disneyland?
Okay, well, we're going to have an amazing downtown Disney refurb coming up here, and it's starting to come along. I went to Din Tai Fung. I got to go for the soft opening. So good. If you like Chinese food, if you like dumplings, it's the best. Very excellent. The wait was very short. I got a reservation, no problem. So I think that's a great addition. I thought it was going to be crazy. It's not. It's just regular Disney people who want to go. So that's awesome. And then we're getting
That's
oh,
awesome, Gina, because I have seen that on national news that's coming to Disneyland. I think it's like a big worldwide chain,
it is.
and this
And
is
we
our
have,
first entry here, something along those lines. So
yeah. And we have one down the street in Costa Mesa. So I think most of the people will go to that one who live in the area. And this is just for Disney guests, really. That's what I figured out when I went to the soft opening. So it's
nice.
super exciting. It was really good. We ordered a lot. We had fun. And then they're also building like a little marketplace area where it's going to be 2 stories. It's going to have a bar, a chicken, and a soul food. So that's Korean soul food. So that's exciting. So yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
When is the planned opening of that?
For Din Tai Fung, it opens tomorrow. And then the other one they're still building. So probably my guess will be like September. They'll be done.
Got
Anything
it.
with the former ESPN zone?
Still no. I'm hoping they do. I think they should just build a food court or like a market, like the co-op.
Yeah.
That would be great. That would be great here in California to have a co-op.
That would be great to have a food
Yeah.
court. Yeah,
Food
that
court
would
or a
be.
co-op. Mm-hmm.
And so Aaron wants to know, West Coast question, do we anticipate more DVC hotels with the Disneyland Forward project?
Nope.
No, I think Disneyland Hotel is your last hurrah there.
I think so
We
too.
have no room. There's no room.
Landlocked.
We're landlocked. There's no room. And Anaheim says no timeshares.
I agree.
Yeah. Anaheim is like locking down the timeshare licenses, which
Mhm.
is one of the reasons why I bought there. And I have a little bit of buyer's regret there right now. I should probably do a show on it. But we'll see. We'll see after my July trip when my family comes. If they all hate it, that'll just make things worse. If they do hate it, then I'm at least leaning back on but we can 11-month book this and waitlist Grand Cal.
And just
Or-
wait until Disneyland Forward when you're going to have a theme park in your room.
Yeah, when you're going to be looking out into a theme park.
Yes.
So that
Just
should be pretty epic there as well. And we're looking forward to that. But that's a little ways out. And because isn't Disneyland Forward like a 20, 30 year timeline here?
40.
Yes.
But that's okay. It's going to take time. It's slowly developing, which is great.
It'll be available for the 140th anniversary of Disney.
Yeah, I won't be. Okay. But
I'll be around. They'll push me around in a wheelchair.
good
Me too.
deal. Good deal. Well, Andy, I want to thank you for joining us tonight. And we're missing our audience from Facebook like you wouldn't believe. But hopefully they get that worked out. We're going to still keep streaming to YouTube and still keep doing whatever we can do to our Facebook page and everything else there.
I
But if you
shared
guys-
out. So
Yeah.
look for me.
If you guys
sharing.
have questions, Andy at dvcresalemarket.com, 949-412-0850. And you can still continue on with the Ask Andy Anything. You just got to do it in email or a phone call or a text. So,
And Andy gets back to you real quick.
yeah, that he does. He works 7 days a week, like insane
9
hours,
days a
taking
week.
care of everybody. Yeah.
27 hours a day,
Yes.
14 months a year.
Always. He always gets back to you, except for when he's in Egypt. He's not going to get back to you then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Welcome home, y'all.
Okay. So that pretty much wraps up our show. Thank you, Andy. Thanks to our sponsors over at World of DVC, including DVC Resale Market, DVC Rental Store, and Monera Financial. Huge shout out of thanks to them. Hopefully you guys learned something in today's show that'll help you go out there and plan something magical for your family. Next Sunday night, we'll be back with a trip report from Vero Beach, the DCL Duo Cruise, which was the inaugural public sailing to Lighthouse Point. Myself, Gina, and Caleb will be there. We might even tap the duo if they're available to join us as well. I don't know what their live stream schedule is tonight. I know they had one tonight, so they might have a conflict. But we'll definitely invite them on and see what they can say and join the conversation there. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Y'all have a great night.
Be safe this
Next
week.
time. Yeah, have a safe 4th of July, everybody. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, please watch your head and step as you exit, and take small children by the hand.
Aw, chill up, Dad. You know I'll come back. With DVC.
My DVC Points is an unofficial Disney-inspired podcast created by fans of Disney Vacation Club. The thoughts expressed in this podcast are personal opinions and personal experiences. My DVC Points is not affiliated with Disney Vacation Club, the Walt Disney Companies, or any subsidiaries. We encourage listeners to contact their DVC guide or member services for official DVC policies.